Alright, I just got back from The Amazing Spider-Man 2, an hour and a half ago. And I'm going to go over what I thought of it. I said I wouldn't go see it, but I ended up seeing it anyway, just because if I missed it, it would be the only Spider-Man movie I had not seen in the theater. So I'll go ahead and go over it. First off, I'll go over that it's bad. It's pretty bad. I did see it in 3D, and the 3D fight scenes were excellent. That is the best praise I can give it. It's the fight scenes, good Spider-Man fight scenes in 3D, something that I think we should have seen. Too bad the movie isn't better. Another good part is, well, I'm not a music guy. I did like the score for this. I hated the misplaced songs in this, but the score was solid. All the actors are also pretty good, except for Paul Giamatti, which is shocking. He's a great actor, but he is way over the top in this movie that's mostly played somewhat seriously. As seriously as it can be, really. And there's also this scientist who's testing on Electro, who's also hurting Electro with electric shock, which makes no sense, at least it seems like that. He's way over the top, too, and he sucks. Well, I thought the director, Marc Webb, I thought he did a great job helping elevate the first one with a crappy script. It doesn't work here. He doesn't pull it off, I think. He makes bad calls. I don't know if they're in the script and he just lets them go by or what, but he does not pull it off. That also being said, this script is a lot worse than the first Amazing Spider-Man. I kind of blame the the crappy script, that the first movie was just rushed. This time, it doesn't have that defense. They had to be planning this, and it's crap. Peter and Gwen's scenes are a nice chunk of movie, and they are boring. They're just... The actors are good, and they're charismatic, but their scenes suck. Dennis Leary pops up in this movie with this disapproving look. First time he pops up, I'm like, okay. It's after Peter talks to Gwen, and he pops up, and it's like, that's a little goofy, but okay, I see. You know, he's haunting him. And I think he pops up 2 more times, and each time that followed, I could not contain my laughter. I thought it was just hilarious. He's just popping up and giving him this evil look, just like, ooh, I'm mad at you. It's hilarious. It's just like in your face. It's like, we get it, but we're gonna shove it in your face because it's not obvious enough. Now, I'm not going to get into spoiler alerts on this, so don't worry. But I will say Norman Osborn gets a cameo in this. He's one of the most important characters in the Spider-Man universe, in both the Raimi movies and in the comic books, Ultimate and regular comic books. And he gets a cameo in this movie, and that's it. They also sidestep the crap out of the Daily Bugle, like he's sending pictures through email to J. Jonah Jameson. Never see him. We never even see the Daily Bugle office or anything like that. And I guess they just don't want to recast him, but man, it's like, it's almost not worth bringing it up. Because sidestepping it just makes it so obvious that you're not bringing it up. It's just not a good idea. Also, there's this Osborn disease. It has a long technical name. I did not memorize it. But Harry has it. I guess it's going to kill him. And I guess the theory is that Spider-Man's blood could save him. So, since Peter takes pictures of Spider-Man, he asks Peter to get some Spider-Man's blood, or, you know, ask him for some blood. So Peter goes ahead and dresses up, goes into a Spider-Man outfit, goes over to talk to Harry, and says, hey, I'm not giving you the blood. Which is so stupid. It's like, if you're not going to give it to him, just don't show up. Oh, God. I thought that was just goofy. And it also bugged me because it's like, okay, I understand Peter's hesitation, but if Harry is such a good friend, why don't you give it to him, but like put some conditions on it. Say, you know, I have to always be around it. We have to make sure there are tests done on this before we use it. You know, I want to save you, but I want to make sure not to, you know, hurt you more or anything like that. You know, as it is, he's just making it like, oh yeah, sucks to be you. And that bugs me. I guess the most the thing that bugs me the most is that he just pops up to say no. Why? Why do that? During the final battle, there's this airplane scene that has nothing to do with the movie. If they cut this whole airplane plot out of the movie, you would not notice. It was awful. I don't even get why they had it in there. It was like the airplanes for a little bit were like, oh my god, we can't see the city. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, there it is. Resolved. Spider-Man had nothing directly to do with it. None of the main characters had anything directly to do with it. It was just like this extra story jammed in there. And that is a problem with this movie. They jam a whole bunch of stories in here. It shows. I am an electrical engineer. I'm almost done with my degree. And so I'll go ahead and explain Electro's defeat bugs the crap out of me because they decided to defeat him like he's a battery. Despite the fact that he has to be more than a battery because batteries can't teleport around the room. Electro can like teleport around the room. Batteries can't do that. They can't treat him like a battery because it doesn't behave like a freaking battery. Won't say what happens, but there's a scene where Spider-Man's web branches into a hand. And that was over the top. I think that was like, whoa. And this is the one that blew my mind. I just seriously didn't know what to think of this. There's no mid-credit or end-credit scene for this. In fact, there is a scene in the middle of this that has nothing to do with this movie. The mid-credit scene in this movie is an advertisement for Days of the Future Past, the X-Men movie. I do not think they're doing any crossovers here. I think they're just advertising for Days of the Future Past, like Foxx paid Sony for some film rights to advertise in it. It's really, really, it was really bad. There's no end credit scene. When it starts rolling credits, you can walk away. In fact, there's actually, during the end credit scene, it's like the Iron Man end credit scene, except it's the Rhino armor. And Rhino pretty much just has a cameo in this movie, so it's just like, okay, whatever. Yeah, I'd say if you really must watch it, I recommend watching it in 3D. I imagine most people who must watch it have already seen it, though. I'm probably like on the last bus for that one. Yeah, if you haven't seen it yet, and you're debating where not to see it, just go see Captain America 2 again. This movie's not worth it.